Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. I want to show you something. This is a singing bowl, very commonly used by Tibetan monks. But the first time I actually came to see one being used was at a storytelling event. And the way that the storyteller was using the instrument as part of his performance was unbelievably breathtaking. And it's no surprise that the singing bowl is commonly associated with meditation. And neuroscience has found that the frequencies from the sounds from the singing bowl actually stimulate the theta brainwaves associated with deep meditative states, relaxation, stress relief, anxiety relief. It goes on and on and on. So, I guess you're going to want to know what it sounds like. They all come obviously in different sizes, different metals can be used. What I found particularly interesting was the note, right? And I sat on the piano and I tried to figure out, what is the actual note of this? What is the actual note of this singing bowl? But I actually found it out, it's G sharp. And the way it works, you've got a little hand mallet, and you tap the side, and then once it starts to vibrate, you can actually just play that sound by applying some pressure around the rim of the bowl. And the idea is to try and keep the sound equal. But you can, of course, let it go down, or if you wish, make it louder. Anyway, I wanted to show you that. That's so cool. Which leads me on to the next thing I wanted to talk about, because last weekend I was listening to a school's chaplain, and she was talking about the Japanese art of Kintsugi, which translates to golden joinery. You may have heard of this, where the tradition in Japan that if a ceramic pot breaks, and it's a pot that's been used for a long time, it's to not just throw and discard the pot, but to actually fix it. And not just fix it, right? But within the actual cracks is to put in some lacquer mixed with golden powder. So it's an incredible, I look at that and I think it's an amazing metaphor, isn't it? To actually celebrate the cracks, make them look amazing, right? So I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave that with you to ponder, because it made me think of the third thing that I wanted to talk about today. And it's really a story. A friend of mine gave me this story, one page, and he said to me, Andrew, why don't you do something with this? So I filed it and I thought, I've got to find the right time to tell this story. And I think today is that time. So sit back, relax. I'm going to tell you a story. A long time ago, a water bearer would go down to the stream and fill up 2 large clay pots. And he would strap these clay pots to a wooden yoke that he would carry over his shoulders. And he would bring the pots back up to the family house where he worked. And he did this for many years. He loved his job, and the family, they loved him. So he was extremely satisfied. Now, one of the pots in question had a crack in it. So when he filled the 2 pots up at the stream and walked back to the house, the pot with the crack in it would lose its contents. And this went on for years. Now, the pot, who was always full, on return, always made it known and would say to the other pot with the crack, look at me, I'm full. And the pot with the crack, well, it wasn't too happy. And over time became sadder and sadder, because it felt like it wasn't able to fulfill its purpose. It wasn't able to do what it was designed to do. And so this pot with a crack became very depressed. And finally, after a few years, while the water bearer was filling the pots up with water, the pot with a crack in it said to him, "Why don't you fix me?" Now you can imagine a water bearer hearing a talking pot was quite surprised at first. But he replied, "Well, what do you mean?" "Well," said the pot with the crack in, "I've had this crack in me for an awful long time, and I cannot hold all my water, and I lose it along the way. Why don't you fix me?" "I see," said the water bearer, "and it's making me sadder and sadder," said the pot with the crack in it. "I see," said the water bearer. "I feel like a failure," said the pot with a crack in it. And now the other pot that didn't have the crack in it was giggling and laughing, which made it even worse. The water bearer said to the pot with the crack in it, "Do me a favour. On our return back up to the house, I want you to look around and tell me what you see." "Okay," said the pot with a crack in it. And so the water bearer put the pots across his shoulders and he walked back. Now as they were walking back, the pot that did not have a crack in it was mocking the other pot. "You're dripping water again. I just wanted to let you know, you're dripping water. Oh, there it goes." He did this the whole way back. Now the pot with the crack in it was not at all happy and started to cry, and its tears mixed with the water that were flowing down onto the ground. And it had forgotten about what the water bearer had asked it to do, which was to look around. All it could focus on was the fact that it had this crack in the water and all its contents were slowly but surely falling out. And when they got back to the house, the water bearer said to the pot with the crack in it, "Tell me what you saw." And the pot said, "All I could see was the water dripping out of me. I didn't see anything else." "I see," said the water bearer. The next day the water bearer did exactly the same, filled the pots up with water and walked up. And as he walked up the path back towards the house, he stopped and he said to the pot with a crack in it, "What do you see?" And the pot looked and said, "I see water on the ground." "What else?" said the water bearer. I see water flowing down into those flowers." "What else do you see?" "I see that on the other side of the road there are no flowers." "You see," said the water bearer to the pot with the crack in it, "when I noticed that you had that crack and you were losing your contents, I went to the gardener and I asked him for some flower seeds and I planted them down the road. And the water from you, the water dripping out of you, was used to water those seeds. And those flowers have been used to decorate the family home. And I've been doing that for the last 2 years. And in all that time, you've failed to notice the beauty that you have created." And the pot with a crack in it started to smile, started to beam. You see, said the water bearer, acknowledge your cracks. Show them to the world and show them what you're capable of doing. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. And please do continue to send me any requests for stories. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, keep telling stories. Chat soon. Take care. Bye.